Hello Jamaica, welcome to Sports Unwrapped. As you can see behind me, this is the Evo 8 that belongs to David Summerbell Jr. He's our guest today on Sports Unwrapped, and we talk to the champion driver, the king of Dover, after the break. Welcome to the show. Congratulations on your 3-0 against Dover at the weekend. First of all, let me just say on behalf of all racing fans, thank you very much for that amazing performance on the weekend.
Well, I have to thank the fans. Those are why we do it. We go crazy when we're in front of fans. So it was great. It was one of the best weekends ever I've had at Dover. I mean, we've been going there 20 years now, and I've never seen a crowd like that. It was just exhilarating, you know, and not to mention the hype before the event. It brings out the best in you. The team, everybody was ready. We took no chances, you know. And when everything is on the line like that, it makes you, you know, do the best you can.
Do you think the hype had a lot to do with the massive turnout? And I don't think everybody agrees that this has been probably the biggest crowd ever at Dover. I mean, there were thousands of people there.
For me, I'm you know, going back, I've never seen it that big. And for sure, you know, the ATL group, the fact that the Audi was there, the help with Observer, they were pushing, and all the different media houses focusing on the new car, whether, you know, what differences it would make. Just phenomenal. So many you know, radio stations, TVs, you know, everybody wanting to have a piece of it, and of course the words being thrown before.
Speaking of the words being thrown before, what was your thinking, or what was the strategy of your team going into Dover, knowing that Dover was coming with such a very powerful piece of machinery, 500 horsepower, you know, 4-liter V8 engine, of course the Audi coming out of Italy and everything, you know, the big hype. What was the thinking, the strategy from your team going into Dover?
We were nervous. There's, you know, no hiding it. The car is, that's what Formula One drivers drive when they stop racing Formula One. It's a Formula car with a body on it. We know what it can do. Fortunately, they do limit it in Europe, but you know, there's no question, serious contention with that, and therefore we had to do everything we could, and we started early. The guys, you know, 3 weeks ago we pulled up everything, and then, or more than 3 weeks, actually 4 weeks ago, we pulled up everything, and then we started putting it back little by little, and we found a lot of little things. We knew we were going to have to run hard lap after lap. It wouldn't be just one fast lap out the block, you know, get a lead and then relax. We knew we were going to have to run, and so said, so done. As it went along, we were able to run in the 119s lap after lap, and fortunately, you know, I'd say Doug wasn't as comfortable in his car, and just those little mistakes gave us the difference, the lead, and a comfort zone to go on to win the races.
You mentioned something we were speaking before today about the fact that Doug been driving an Evo for many years, like yourself, and that getting accustomed to this new Audi, more powerful machine, is what helped you on the weekend as well. Yeah. But tell me, going forward, how dominant can this car be?
It certainly is an awesome motor car. I watched Doug brake in practice, and where he brakes when he's not under pressure was, I mean, way later than I've ever been with an Evolution. I don't mean close, I mean 40, 50 feet. That's enough easily to just overtake a person. And you know, a lot of the passing is done at Dover in the braking zones, not on the faster zones. The track is not fast enough, so you really do most of your passing in the braking. And when I saw him doing that, I definitely had concerns. Still have concerns going forward. I know he will get faster, and so I know I have to get fast. I know, and the whole crew does that. I mean, right after we have this huge list of things to do to go faster for the very next meet. Not to mention, it's a Caribbean Championship. The guys from Barbados. There is the Mears brothers that are coming, the Maloneys, the Mears, Roger Mears in particular. He drives a Ford Focus. He has dominated Barbados. He has a track record in Barbados, and then he went again and took my track record. I had a track record, and he's taking that, and now he's coming to Jamaica. So for sure, you know, you can't relax. You just have to keep going, and you think, boy, you just got this one under the belt, but another one's coming, and we're back to.
Give me a sense of what's on that list.
Oh boy, this starts from the little things. The seat, my seat, has a crack in it. It needs to be changed. The communication, radios. I'm in the radio business. I need to make sure I have good communication. Brake calipers. Simple things here. Charging terminals. Bigger things. GPS module for my dash, so that we can analyze everything that happens after when we come out the car. This race meet, they were teasing me. The crew chief, he says, you're coasting at the end of the straight, and I'm not. He says, come here. I had to apologize. So there's no hiding. The guys know exactly what you're doing in there. They overlay lap after lap, and they can tell you what you did to go faster. It helps you as a driver and helps them as preparing the car. So those are some of the big ones. A lot of things here with the aerodynamics of the car, trying to improve it. The brakes, the braking zones are what we're going to be focusing a lot. Suspension, it's constant. This is, and I think this is racing worldwide. We're in front, and we have to keep that way. So we can't sit on our laurels. We just have to keep pushing.
Eventually, though, you're going to have to boost up that Evo to be able to match Doug, because right now he's the standard in terms of the car. You are the standard in terms of the driver.
Like that.
As everybody says, this is just going more based on the fan reaction of the wheel races on the weekend. We'll come back to that in a little bit, but in terms of boosting, improving upon the Evo 8, which is already the best in its class. Well, it used to be the best in its class in terms of performance. But how do you match the Audi eventually?
Well, I would say we have to go as long as we can. There's no way that Evo in long term is an Audi or is in the class of a real racing car, like the Audi or any DTM car. So we have to be looking, at what the options are. We have this car, and it runs well, and there are still things we know we can do to make it faster, and we have to do those. But at the same time, we have our eyes open, and we have the opportunity to be looking while still, being in front. So, Total has been fantastic. Their lubricants, the fuels, they provide the racing fuels for me. I run their lubricants, and it's been very helpful. The car is reliable, and that's another part of it. The fact that this is a car that I can go into the parking lot and get things off of people's cars if something goes wrong. Also is an advantage, So we wait and see. It's a tough game to be in. Sponsors are the most important. How much you can convince them to invest in you. Similarly, Doug was able to convince the ATL group to invest in him. And now, he has the upper hand for sure in that way.
So you have to now convince
yes,
people
absolutely.
Worth the while to get back into the game, because it's what it has done though. It has raised interest in racing locally, and it's at a place now. If there was any indication, it's about to take off to a different level altogether. What do you think needs to be done? Not from your perspective per se, but as somebody who's been racing in Jamaica for more than 20 years, what do you think that other drivers have to do to raise their game to get closer to you guys? Don't think the guys are not. They are. Some of the ones I think of is Chris Campbell, of course. The BMW,
beautiful, and a lot of credit to him. I take my hat off to him. He's built that car pretty much in Jamaica, a lot of it, and you would look at that and swear it was done by the BMW factory. It's gorgeous. It has in the 6-speed sequential. He's running traction control, all done in Jamaica. I'm like, this is incredible, really. And he hasn't made a bad move yet. For someone racing for such a short time, incredible. Mark Carey, using his engineering knowledge, he's built an awesome car. His engine kept letting him down. He's because of the interest in his car and on the internet and stuff, foreigners have come in now to help him and think that, they swear that car will kill me. So this is what I have to deal with. This is constant. I'm the big target, So we're constantly trying to really, see where we are and waiting for the next attack. while moving forward. But I do think I have the advantage. I have a crew and a team of guys, Garnet, Stephen, Bobby, Justin, you know, and there are more, and they just work like, you know, a well-oiled machine. So those are advantages. And when it comes down to race day, every little thing matters. You know, we were changing, you know, wires that the clip wasn't strong. That's when you get, you know, that's when you've gotten to a far that, you know, oh, it feels a little slack, we change it. That's, you know, so everybody knows their job. I have, as I said, the great sponsors. I have good sponsors. Yeah, I have to do my part of the driving. In fact, this weekend I was under pressure because the guys did everything. I had no excuses. The car was perfect. I had to do my part. No, pressure is on me. So it's a good team effort.
You mentioned the performance this weekend. On the weekend, the last race, the Thunder Sport 2, was the one that everybody's been talking about since the Dover weekend. From your cockpit, what was that race like?
Okay. I figured I had the advantage being four-wheel drive going into the rain. That was honestly my opinion, and it gave me confidence. Silly confidence, because it wasn't to be. When we started the race, I was surprised. I was slipping around, and he was quite comfortable. In speaking to Doug just today, he said to me he raced. He had tested the car in the rain and went faster in the rain with a two-wheel drive than he has ever been with his Evolution. And I saw that in the track. But I didn't know that. So you know, I had a lot of confidence going in. Opted for slicks, and you know, thinking that the track would dry out. Unfortunately, we all know it did. But he came out really hard, to my surprise. Stayed consistent, stayed fast, didn't you know, I figured he would make a mistake, no mistakes. And we had to really put it to him. You know, unfortunately the race was long, and the track started to dry out, and things. I knew I had to make a move, and you know, was able to take advantage in the later parts of the race, and with his tires going off, to take the lead. So it all worked out. But you know, it could have gone either way. You know, if it had started raining again, it could have really changed things.
There were about 4 lead changes in the race, I think it was, or 3 or 4 lead changes, because you guys were.
I think it was only 2, to be honest. Well, yeah, I led. I mean, I started the race on pole. He passed me in the first corner. I passed him back on the 4th or 5th lap, and then on the 2nd to last lap, I got him.
And you had the crowd going well. Did you get a sense of? Well, you know the engine noise and everything, but did you get a sense of what the crowd was doing?
Oh, it was incredible. Awesome. Not in the race, because the truth is, I have the ability to blank everything out, right? So when I'm racing, there is nothing but me in the car on the road, and you could be beside me going like this, I won't hear you, you know. But after the race, I've never seen anything. I mean, the crowd lifted me up, had me around. I've never had that, you know, here in Jamaica. Sang, where are we, you know? They were there. It was amazing. I was kind of in shock, to be honest. Fantastic, awesome.
Well, David, thank you very much. You have done a lot for racing in Jamaica over these last 20 years, but I think you've actually pushed it to another level over the last weekend at the Carnival of Speed. Hopefully, we'll be able to see you do similar work at the Caribbean Championships coming in. Is it May 23rd, right?
May 23rd.
Right.
Labor Day.
Labor Day. So that I know Jamaica is looking forward to. So thanks again.
Thank you. I appreciate the support, and it's an absolute pleasure being in the sport at this time with all the growth. And thanks to all the guys out there for supporting me.
All right. Thanks, David. JamaicaDina.com. That's Jamaica-Dina.com, and of course find the Sports Unwrapped logo and click on that. Of course, you can also send us your emails at sportsunwrapped@dinajm.com, and you can catch my blogs at dinablogs.com. But we couldn't let you go this week without giving you our sports fact of the week. We just finished speaking to David Summerbell Jr, the king of Dover and the king of the Caribbean, 5-time Caribbean champion. But did you know that David's mother, Sonia Summerbell, his sisters Jody and Mandy also have raced at Dover? That's our sports fact of the week. Until next week, this is Leighton Levy saying drive safely, not on the roads, drive at Dover, and be a good sport.